Hi everybody, welcome. It's Lorena Kozawa here, and today we're going to get into some VTuber newsy news. But before we do, please consider smashing subscribe on my other channels as well. I would really appreciate it. Okay guys, I don't think anything is going to prepare you for the news today, but holy moly, look what's happened. All right, guys, this is Hex Haywire. We've talked about Hex quite a few times on this channel. Hex is a English virtual YouTuber affiliated with Nijisanji's 7th Wave Exiol. You will remember he is the person who threw Sayu under the bus for SA jokes when he himself made very inappropriate jokes, and he breeded a toxic community. And he flushed a fish down a toilet, and he played with Grandpa's ashes. Yes, it's this Hex Haywire. Why are we talking about Hex today? Well, friends, we got some, depending on who you are, good news or bad news. All right, here is the information we have from the virtual YouTuber subreddit. Hex Haywire is graduating on August 23rd. This came out of absolute nowhere. Well, let's see what the announcement says. And it says, announcement, we hereby announce that Nijisanji EN Liver Hex Haywire will graduate on the 23rd of August 2024 JST. Thank you for your understanding and for your support of Nijisanji and Nijisanji EN. I always hate that. I always hate when they say that. It's just like, look, we're not supporting you. We're supporting the talent. But okay, let's see what they have to say. Let's see. Oh, did Hex do anything? What happened? Announcement. As a member of Exiol, Hex Haywire debuted in December 2022 and charmed fans with his soothing voice and never fading humor. That's an interesting way to put it. Okay. We cannot thank Hex Haywire enough for all his contributions as a Nijisanji EN Liver and sincerely wish him the best on his next journey. To our fans and everyone involved, we understand how difficult it is to accept Hex's graduation. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your support money of Hex and NIJI EN. For all inquiries regarding this matter, please contact Anycolor Incorporated at our website. Please refrain from directly contacting our company's livers, including any contact on social media or on stream. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation, August 8th. Okay, so it sounds like he didn't do a laundry list of things wrong, which I guess is a surprise considering Hex. But as we know, Nijisanji, especially the EN wave, they tend to favor their male talents because the male talents bring in the Nijisisters who bring in the Niji money. Right. So anyways, Hex has done some stuff, but apparently not enough to merit a laundry list of stuff on a graduation letter. All right. And Hex, of course, has something he has to say as well. Hex says, I said, quote, until death. And I meant that with my chest. Okay. All right. You have changed my life in such profound ways. Thank you for affording me a second chance at life, Sicklings. Sicklings is his fan name. We have 2 more weeks together. Let's make it count. Going live in 20 minutes to talk about it here. Since then, he has been live. I
feel like it was on my mind since December. I kind of came to the decision to do this in February.
I don't know, speculation. I'm putting on my little tinfoil hat here. December was when Selen's Last Cup of Coffee music video came out, and February was when Selen was fired. So that's very interesting. Okay, let's continue.
At the end of the day, after discussing with management and Nijisanji, it was all very, very amicable.
Oh, okay, interesting.
None of the discussions none of the meetings or discussions I had with management were ever tense or anything like that. I was literally just felt like I was just talking to a fucking friend, and I was just like, this is kind of what I want to do. This is what I want to do, and. Okay. I decided at the end of the day, this was the best thing for me. There were a lot of artistic differences. And there were a lot of things that understandably could not be changed. And
so essentially artistic differences. Okay. I mean, that I'm not really surprised, but okay.
It's been planned like this for a long time. And
the fact that it's been planned for a long time was like, does that mean he was in the queue? He was in the queue back in February? Like,
It's a whole process, you know? Like, graduation is a whole process. It's not just a one-time kind of decision. You can't make a snap decision and be like, okay, I want to graduate next week or I want to graduate tomorrow. There is processes that are in place that need to be kind of taken care of.
Wonder what that is.
I was trying to sob rather, but I couldn't get the tears out, you know? So that's why, like, I haven't been able to cry for so long. Maybe
you have made me not cry. What? Long story short, creative differences is what he's citing as to why he's leaving Niji. After this live, Hex had made another tweet saying, one of the last things I told Nina Kosaka. So if you guys remember, Matara was Nina Kosaka when she was working at NIJI. Currently, she is with VShojo and is Matara. Okay. So Hex says, one of the last things I told Nina for her graduation was, quote, they only give you flowers when they lay them on your grave. He's not wrong. Next line, it totally like resonates. So, love your Oshis extra while they're still here. Be gentle with them and yourselves. Love you guys. It's honestly, it's so true. If anything, the VTuber world teaches us, it's that time is very short. So if you find a creator that you really like resonate with, support them while you can, because a lot of times like life circumstances will get in the way, or finances unfortunately will get in the way, and then they'll stop having to create. So enjoy your time now while you have it. It's kind of like what Hex is saying, because because people will only say like, oh, thank you so much after you're like, I'm graduating. They're like, oh, by the way, you changed my life. And you're just like, why didn't you tell me this before? So make sure to tell your Oshi that you love them. Make sure to support them as much as you can while they're here. I will say this. You want the livers to have a better life. I don't think, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think Hex was suffering that much at NIJI because he was like one of their show ponies that I'm sure they treated him very nice. I mean, like obviously all of his talks with management was like, oh, I was just talking to friends. It's like, well, that was very different for maybe some of the other talents that, you know, had a lot of difficulties with management. So like, I guess when you're as big as Hex, they're like, it's like a double-edged sword, guys, because you kind of want to be like, you know, wishing you luck on your future endeavors, but also you breeded a horrible fan base that ended up cannibalizing on themselves. It could have been management that pushed a lot of things that may have resulted in what happened with Hex's fan base. That's a possibility. We really don't know. However, Hex did say that he's leaving because of artistic differences. So NIJI is losing one of their big cash cows. But you can tell that Hex doesn't really care anymore. Post on the Kurosanji subreddit says, either bro forgot to swap accounts or rules and restrictions of the company have loosened. So Ichi from VShojo was like, if I was one of the 7 deadly sins, I'd be sloth. And then Hex says, no, you'd be nerd. The reason why this is profound is because people at NIJI have been pretty much crucified for engaging with people who are outside of NIJI. Even like a heart react resulted in like a suspension. So the fact that Hex is like, you know what, whatever, I'm going to comment on VShojo stuff using my profile goes to show Hex is checked out. Hex does not care anymore. Hex is like, whatever, I'm graduating anyway. Eat it. That's kind of like the attitude that Hex is displaying. Hex is just over it. So, and you know, rightfully so. NIJI is a black company. They're a very terrible company. They treat their people poorly. They culture a toxic fan base. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So this is obviously Hex's PL account or his alternate account. Really, just don't be given an F anymore. So definitely he is checked out at this point. All right. On to our next piece of newsy news here. This is posted on Twitter/X, and this is Idol Corp. So if you remember, Idol Corp has recently been bought out by Brave Group. So this is a statement here about who's staying and who's going. Dear fans, we want to start by thanking everyone for the warm welcome following our recent announcement about Idol's acquisition by Brave Group US. Your support and trust mean everything to us, and we promise to do our best to meet your expectations. We also want to express our gratitude for the Idol management team's willingness to work with us. Their cooperation is essential for a seamless transition and the success of our shared vision. As noted in the previous announcement, when integrating Idol into Brave Group US, we prioritize giving every talent the freedom to choose their future with us. It was important to us that no one felt forced into a decision amidst such significant changes. We understand that transitions can be daunting, and working within a larger corporate structure isn't for everyone. Who's leaving? We are sad to see them go, but we deeply respect the decision of Katerina Kuti, Fuyo Cloverland, Juna Nagi, Rin Penrose, this one's a huge one, Rin Penrose, and Makai05 to pursue their paths independently. We are committed to celebrating their journeys at Idol with a dedicated farewell stream in November. Under the terms of the signed agreements, instead of requiring any upfront payment for the IP, we will engage in a revenue sharing model for 1 year. I don't like either of those. Okay. This arrangement ensures they can continue to grow their careers on their own terms, regardless of the personal financial situations at the time of your departure. We are excited to announce that we will immediately start working on a 3D model debut for the talents who choose to stay. Regarding the debut of Idol EN3, we are committed to ensuring the highest quality debuts. To achieve this, we have decided to delay debuts until October. Regarding merchandise, all outstanding orders will be fulfilled by October 15th. October? Man, we're in freaking August. Like, geez. Okay, this is Rin Penrose's statement regarding her leaving Idol, so let's take a listen.
I also just want to point out how cool it is that while some of us are probably going to say stuff like, we're buying our IPs, just because that's an easier way to describe it, honestly, Brave didn't actually make us pay a single cent up front for any of this. What they're actually asking is that we just split some of our earnings with them anytime we do anything that generates any money using the IP, starting from when we graduate in November and ending a year after that. They just put a flat price tag on the IPs, then what would have happened if one of us couldn't afford what they were asking?
I mean, that's fair.
Let's be real.
I guess.
If we take into account the value of the models, the associated assets, and the perceived value of the channels, you're automatically just asking for at least a 5-figure sum there. I personally think it's preferable that we have the revenue split rather than one of us having to go into debt so we can keep our models.
Okay, so people are saying, very surprised about Rin and Mika. Rin was the Idol face, and poor Mika being an ex-Wactor, going indie for some time and signing with Idol to get more support, only for that to go sideways. Ah, that does suck. Says the way they handle the IP buyout is really, really good. Has there ever been another deal as good as that? The talent doesn't have to pay any upfront costs to keep the IP. Doesn't seem to have any real negatives to take the deal monetarily. Size of the talent doesn't increase the cost, technically the percentage-wise because of revenue split, but not in a direct way. This means even the smallest ones going indie doesn't have to worry about leaving, aside from losing the support of Brave management and marketing. Being a corporate VTuber, they already split revenues with the agency, and while I don't think we know concrete numbers, depending on how the real contracts are set up, the indie talents could end up actually seeing more money themselves during the revenue split. Overall, very based of Idol Brave to do it this way. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you know what? Honestly, we don't know the percentage. I mean, like, if it's a small percentage, then maybe. But if it's like 50%, then like that kind of blows. But Rin seems happy about it. For me, I don't know. I get the ick. If it's like, hey, you know what, you got to pay us back for all of the upfront costs, you know, pay us that, you know, and then that's fine. But the fact that she's saying like, oh yeah, you know, perceived cost of what the channel costs is like, listen, like you can open a YouTube channel for free, okay? We built that based on your personality. So like, I mean, I get it because you're like, hey, you know, you got editors who are making things and uploading things, and then but you have the person creating the thing too. Like, so it's kind of like, I understand both are super important in the space, but it just, I don't know. For me, it just gives me the ick a little bit, but maybe I'm wrong. Look, I'm a stupid cat on the internet. What do I know about math and numbers? Okay, all I'm saying is that if I leave a company, I am leaving. So like the fact that they're just like, I don't know, hanging on till November. And then after November, an additional year kind of gives me the ick. That's just me personally, guys. I don't know. At the end of the day, as long as the talents are happy, it's fine. All right, on to the next piece of newsy news. You guys will remember Taiga had gotten deplatformed on YouTube, Twitter. What's happened is Taiga has made an alt account and they're not having a good day. So this is posted on Twitter/X by Clustiefel. It says, yeah, the NuxTaku and MarinaVT involvement on this TaigaHolic deplatform situation is 100% right. Taiga made some now deleted tweets accusing both NuxTaku and MarinaVT for ruining Taiga's career. Essentially, TaigaHolic had to make an alt account because they were deplatformed on Twitter. And this is what they said. We're talking about ToraHolic. That is TaigaHolic, okay? That's just their alternate account. All right, Tora says, Nux, you're a grifting effing scumbag, and you deserve the absolute effing worst in life. Can't wait for all your friends to inevitably abandon you. And it says this post has been deleted. And then Tora says, Marina, you're an absolute joke of a human being, and I can only hope you end up as miserable as all your victims, you effing freak. Your voice is awful. Your model genuinely makes me want to vomit. It's so effing ugly. But at least you didn't steal your design like Nux. Whoa! TaigaHolic continues to say, no one responsible for ruining my life will ever be held accountable. That's true. I've felt that before. I'm still deplatformed, and everyone will move on to something else in a week. I'm going to yeet myself. Yikes. Big yikes. So if you don't know what the NuxTaku and MarinaVT situation was, to give you a little bit of context, this was posted 3 days ago on Reddit by Noel Fuel Gamer 1234. It says, Taiga lost both her YouTube and Twitter after being harassed by Nux. It was revealed that NuxTaku falsely accused Taiga of being a young person like her, while in front of Charlie, Muda, and Oompa on the Some Ordinary podcast some time ago, thus makes this unfinished business between Nux and Taiga. Okay. And then Marina, back in August of 2022, made a thread about that situation. So it turns out Nux and Marina were actually incorrect. Nux had to issue an apology.
I don't know if it's true. He ended up coming back with some sort of response. I don't know, this guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that...
Let me be clear. Let me check exactly what he said. Because he says he apologized to me privately, but I think what he really apologized for was, hey, sorry I didn't fact check before posting about you. He didn't say, hey, sorry I called you slandered you to 200,000 people or more. Sorry I didn't fact check my information before slandering you.
Yeah, so essentially that's kind of like what happened, because this had happened some time ago. So Marina and Nux were in the wrong, but Taiga is still deplatformed. Taiga definitely went on a bit of a tirade here. And then afterwards, Taiga has now deleted the account. So it's a little bit concerning. I do kind of have to resonate with, like, a lot of people don't face accountability for what they've done. And I can see why you would be upset, right? I can see why there's just like that feeling of like the world is unjust and it's not fair that people, they just get to, like, you know, make statements and walk away without any proof. So it does kind of suck, and you can feel for Taiga. You can feel for Taiga. Like, obviously, like it sucks. It sucks. So we don't really know what's going on with Taiga now. I believe they said something along the lines of they weren't going to hurt themselves. I mean, we can't tell now because the whole account's been deleted. The whole account's been deleted, so we can't actually see it now. But I think there was something saying, like, you know, like, hey, they're having a moment. And to be fair, it's very frustrating when you're being silenced. I completely understand. So, anyways, I just wanted to signal boost this. As a VTuber, you very much need these social media platforms in order to gain some traction, right? And when they're removed from you, then you have nothing left. It's not really fair. I can completely understand the frustration, for sure. So hopefully Taiga is okay, and hopefully they will persevere. On to our next piece of newsy news. So this is Pierre. You'll remember Pierre is actually a clipper for Shylily, and their channel got taken down for quote-unquote impersonation, even though they work for Shylily. But Pierre has an announcement about my YouTube channel, Shylily Clips. So first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for their support. Special thanks to Shylily and Bosca, who were always there to support me daily and reassure me no matter what, they will help me get through this. I also want to thank every content creator that engaged about the channel being terminated and went through the effort of sending some support. And obviously, last but not least, anyone that interacted with anything related to the situation. You guys are amazing. Your support means the world to me, and you are the reason I started this and keep going whenever I felt down. Thank you so much. TLDR, I lived, bitch! And then Shylily says, we lived, bitch! I'm so glad you got the channel back. Let's effing go. So this is great news. Absolutely wonderful news. I will say the caveat of something. Shylily is like a juggernaut of a VTuber, so to have her support is fantastic. There's going to be so many clippers who unfortunately won't get that support. This is just one person getting out of it, but at the same time, like, it's not like a court case where you're just like, oh, you know, Shylily v YouTube, you know, based on this in the past, that's the going forward trend. You know what I mean? Like, YouTube doesn't work that way, unfortunately. It should, but it doesn't. So it's kind of, it's while fantastic for this guy and for Shylily and for Pierre, like, while that's fantastic, I fear that other content creators and their clippers may still be vulnerable to the YouTube machine of being like, yeah, no, impersonation, you're taken down. So like, YouTube needs to do a better job in actually maintaining this and in actually administering this. Thank goodness that they were able to get the channel back. And thankfully, they Pierre had the backing of Shylily, who is like a huge VTuber in the sphere. So that's great. But also, I worry about the little guys. But hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe YouTube will do some improvements going forward. Okay, on to our next piece of newsy news. This is Ironmouse from VShojo. Ironmouse has a Twitter post saying, looking for flesh streamers who want a chance to become a VTuber. Fill out this form to have a chance to join the show and have a chance to become a VTuber yourself. So Ironmouse is not taking any existing VTubers. She wants flesh streamers. Here's the Google form. So Ironmouse VTuber Academy. Welcome to the Ironmouse VTuber Academy. In this event, we are looking for streamers that have an interest in VTubing but haven't had the chance to dive into it. This is your chance to get a look at the various aspects of VTubing and what goes into creating your own VTuber. We are looking for flesh streamers only, no ping tumors or VTubers, to join a multi-day show event around 6 days ending in mid/late September. Eligibility: must be a Twitch partner. Flesh streamers only, no ping tubers or VTubers. Participants will compete in various VTubing challenges, go through elimination rounds, and the winner will receive a custom VTuber model paid for by Ironmouse. Deadline to enter is August 14th. We'll be reaching out to selected participants by August 14th, 4 p.m. I'm sure it'll make for great content, and I'm sure it'll be lulz. But anyways, that's what's happening with Ironmouse. Okay, on to our next piece of Newsy news. This is a post on the Nijisanji subreddit. Matara gives her reasons and context to leaving quote-unquote Hollywood. Matara's most recent stream has her giving more context to the reason as why she left quote-unquote Hollywood and how she felt for a while during her time there. So when she says Hollywood, obviously it means NIJI. She was given a special gift by her fans and let them know how this gift helped reinforce her decision to leave back then, despite selfish and difficult, was the right thing. I've got to say, while watching this live and finally getting a better picture of how she felt during her time at Nijisanji is heartbreaking. Hearing her elaborate on how she always felt that she was tolerated in her group and in general during her time there really sucks. I'm glad that she's in a much better place for her to flourish and be free to grow. Same goes to anyone else who has been able to leave Nijisanji. For those good folks left back there, I hope they can escape one day to rebuild something worth themselves. This is the quote in question here. Let's take a listen.
For anybody who's a new fan, who might not have followed me for a really long time, before joining VShojo, I had left a very big group. And one of the main reasons for me leaving, I've talked about it before, blah, 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 but a big part of it that I talked about, this was my biggest everything, was I felt like I could not grow a community within the environment that I was in. And one of the main reasons for that was I felt that as soon as people kind of were open about being my fans, I felt, and based off what I had seen, that other members, maybe they were not real fans of that community, but other members of that group, of that community, would then kind of attack people for being my fans.
Ooh.
And the reason I'm saying this, source,
Ow.
I saw it on TikTok. When
Ow,
people would cosplay me, they would get a lot of negative comments. If people were defending me on clips of me, they would get bad comments about being fans of me, about how I'm problematic and you shouldn't be a fan of me, which again, now everyone's like, oh, wait, that, she was just being her. We just didn't understand. So that was happening.
That sucks.
And I couldn't talk about it. I was not allowed to address it.
Wow.
Because I was in a group around other people and I was just not allowed to address it.
Wow, that sucks. That
Genuinely,
sucks.
I do not think addressing it would have changed anything. Genuinely, I don't think it would have changed. So I felt like I was never going to be able to grow my own little community. All I wanted was my own little space where I could thrive, my own little plot of land that I could harvest, my own little farm that I could just go to every night and farm and have a good time with my momos.
Aww.
And I felt like I could never ever have that if I stayed.
Wow, that sucks.
I felt like I was always going to be one bad joke away from getting canceled forever.
Oof, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make you stressed, eh?
And
Holy
you can
moly.
tell me, hey, you're crazy. That's not true. That would have never happened. But based off of everything that was happening, I felt that even when I kind of shifted into the good graces of the general audience, I was
the
never
Nijisisters.
fully accepted and I was never fully appreciated. So I was always
Ow.
kind of tolerated.
Ow.
Which is why
ow.
I took the really, really, really hard decision to
Oh
leave.
my
Things
God.
were not bad. And I also knew that by me leaving, I knew that me leaving meant that other people were going to get the hate that I was getting. Because typically,
Wow.
this is just from being online for so many years. If people bully one person and then that person disappears, their energy goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
I also
that's
understood
true.
that by
That's
me
true.
leaving, other people were then going to start getting bullied as well. Because and just so we're clear, okay, I use the word bully, but just so we're clear, I mean that the fandom was gonna bully the streamers.
Yeah.
Don't mistake this as any other thing. That the fandom,
the toxic
was
fandom,
going to basically take the energy that they had with me with other streamers in that space.
That sucks.
Basically, I use the word bully, but it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, good clarification, just in case so people don't.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's just the fandom.
So sad. That's so terrible. Like, oh, that's awful. But yeah, no, I can totally see. I can totally see Matara's point. Absolutely. I still don't get why she was so disliked back then, despite being an XXX mommy and selfish. In the end, being a corporate VTuber is still just a job. If you feel like you want to work somewhere else, that's not really what I consider selfish. It's a career change / progression. Yeah, that's true. I have to agree. Yeah. Okay, this is the last piece of Newsy news. This is kind of a funny from Doki. Doki posted on her Twitter, I can't believe me and my chat just watched a man get rejected live on Apex Legends. Drinks for that guy. Okay, let's go.
To pack up my, I'm a third wheel on this date. Jesus Christ, I feel so awkward here.
One day with a 50-foot Ethernet cable.
New kill leader. Good.
You
are evicted.
Oh dear.
Bro, this guy is shooting his shot.
Oof.
This map's weird too. Like, you think would have a lot of loot, don't.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a fully Volt. And
Who asked?
They're doing playful flirting right now. Do I make it awkward?
oops, and I don't even remember them. Remember the one that I saw, but I was like, "What's this?" And you're like, "It's a."
He's so in. He's so in. This is actually a fucking gamer date right now. I know 3K people are watching him. Listen to him.
You and Peter still together?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Playing Warcraft.
Oh no! Oh no, Peter! Oof!
Stop talking! Yes,
Oh no! Oh no!
he DC'd!
Oh, he DC'd!
I'm sorry.
Did you hear me? Did you just DC after you asked?
See as soon as I finish that sentence.
Oh my god, even he was like, that's so awkward!
Okay. I just saw your your series of posts that I thought were kind of odd, like last week or something.
Oh, you're calling me weird? That's if I was a Republican, I would shoot you.
Whoa!
I mean,
Oh my god,
that's
sorry.
so funny.
That was dark.
But the one that got me was when you posted, "What's your type?" and then it was like, "I don't have a type," and then it was like men who are a little bit gay.
What? What? What?
He's gonna think I'm weird.
Okay, guys, so yeah, that was pretty lols. I'm gonna say, you gotta watch what you say on the internet, friends. You gotta watch what you say when you're in a party chat. Like, holy moly, you have no idea who's listening. They probably don't even know who Doki is. They're like, oh, Doki's gonna think I'm so weird. It's like, Doki and all of her entire fan base. So anyways, that's pretty lols, man. That's the best, right? Like when stuff is like unplanned. Oh, the scuff is fantastic. So good. Wow. Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny. All right, so that's the end of the VTuber Newsy News. However, we do have someone for the VTuber Spotlight. This is Scarm. Even though it says pre-debut, Scarm is making content. Scarm says, if I see your emo or goth, there's a 99.9999 chance I will raid you. And also, I thought this was funny. The urge to gather VTubers together and start a boy band is strong. So yes, definitely, if there's any male VTubers, definitely restart and sync, because why not? Anyways, this is Scarm on Twitter /X, and this is Scarm on Twitch. And this is Scarm on TikTok as well. When Lara did the Guinness Book of World Records Fall Guys stream, Scarm was one of the people in my team. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, this is just a funny clip. We're going to play really quick. Okay, it's just, there's a teensy bit of swearing. Just letting you know.
Here's my son.
It's my son.
Oh. No, you cannot eat my child.
Stupid.
Bitch.
Anyways, so that is That is Scarm, so just make sure to follow Scarm on Twitter and on Twitch and on TikTok if you can. Okay, friends, that's it. That's the end of the VTuber Newsy News. Please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and my alternate channels as well. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye. The video, shout out to my patrons that help make these videos possible. If you want to help support the channel, you can always join me at Patreon, subscribe to me on Twitch, or become a member on YouTube. I also have links to merch in the description below. As always, I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!